Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. This Sunday, the Texans will be returning to prime time to play the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football at home. Now, Texans are going to be going up against one of the strongest defenses in the NFL, which is perfect because right now Houston has one of the strongest offenses in the league at this moment. So it begs me to ask the question, how far can his offense go this season? If you think back to that week 1 game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, didn't look like it was going anywhere. Hell, they weren't going anywhere. That first half, we just got damaged. Obviously, we know the story. A whole bunch of offensive line problems. So Coach Yank Savage at the beginning of the second half throws in Watson. Things kind of look a little bit smoother towards the end. After that, go on the road to Cincinnati. He balls out on there a little bit. The next week, get about 33 on New England. Next week, drop 57 on Tennessee Titans. And here we are talking about one of the hottest units in offensive football right now. So it all starts with Deshaun Watson. We all know his story. The team traded up to get him in the first round. Guy to Clemson, all this good stuff. What he's been doing this season so far has been nothing short of amazing. Last game, he tied the rookie record for 5 touchdowns in a single game. Sorry, Al Bundy. But the thing about Watson is, what I like about him, other than the fact he's a dual threat quarterback, he's a dual threat quarterback that distributes the ball well. He's not looking DeAndre Hopkins down the field or down. He's not looking Hopkins down 30 times a game. He's looking at everybody who's open. He distributes the ball to Hopkins, gives it to Miller, Ellington, gives it to Fuller, who just recently returned and had a great season debut against the Titans with 2 touchdowns. And if he can't find those guys open, he'll get them to a running back. He'll get them to a tight end. So I really love the fact that he can just put the ball evenly to multiple receivers and just keep the defense guessing. One of the reasons he can do that is going to slide down to my next point. The protection has improved. Each week, it looks better and better. It looks way better compared to what was going on in week 1, obviously. But with Dwayne Brown out and for Dwayne Brown out because of his holdout situation, there's no telling how long that's really going to last, if it's even going to come to an end this season. So definitely what the offensive line is doing right now, as far as their play is nothing short of amazing. And, it's keeping our rookie quarterback healthy and keeping him successful as well. Another thing that has this offense going in the right direction, we have a great wide receiver duo. DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller. It's rare in the league that you actually get in my opinion, two solid wide receiver deep threats. Usually it's a guy that's just one primary receiver, and everybody else is either a possession player or just part of a huge rotation to accompany the other guy. But it's rare that you get like 2 guys that have potential, that have deep threat potential. So definitely that's going to cause a lot of trouble for defenses figuring out who to cover, not be so many double teams on one receiver while leaving another person in single coverage. And my last point about what has this offense moving is the running backs and tight ends. Obviously excuse me. We have Lamar Miller, Deontay Foreman, just playing a good, in and out game. Miller, definitely a great person that you can have on your sweeps, on your outside runs. Foreman, I definitely see him as a guy that can go inside the tackles, maybe for some short yardage, maybe for some first down, just up the field, 5-yard chunk plays or something like that. So definitely, I think those 2 guys work well, doing what they're designed to do. Tight ends. Last year, tight ends had a good season. It looks like they're on their way to having an even better season. Ryan Griffin, C.J. Fedorowicz. It's just 2 guys that are really adding something to the passing game. They're adding another option where where Watson isn't looking all the way down the field. He can probably just look 5 to 7 yards downfield, catch the tight end in an open spot, outrunning the linebacker or a safety that's crept up in the box. The thing that I have drawbacks about for this offense at the moment is just the youth and experience and, just uncertainty. It's a lot of young pieces around on that offense, and that's a good thing because, some young players there, they're able to learn a little bit better, than the veteran players. But at the same time, it's just the experience for certain situations. If we get in close games, if we're up by a certain number of points, as far as like how to protect the lead, just things like that, and probably other situations or whatnot. But that's a couple of things that I have. That's a drawback on that, and stuff like that is just something that'll probably wither away and just be improved upon as the season goes further. My bottom line for the offense, it's a unit. It has a lot of potential. I definitely see it in all phases of the offense, as I just mentioned: quarterback, offensive line, running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, all that. I think we have great pieces in everywhere, but I think more so those pieces, though, a lot of those pieces have not reached their full potential, and that's going to fall up on the coaches if they can draw that out of those players and get them going in the right direction. I figure once they have them meet that expected potential, or maybe even surpass it, then definitely next year we should be like a top top five offensive unit, and not just next year, but hell, consistently the next 10 years or so. And if they can do it, before the end of this year, kudos to them, and I'll definitely be looking forward to that. So definitely, this is a offense with top five potential. I definitely can't wait to see that, obviously. So anyway, back to the Chiefs. How can the Texans beat the Chiefs? Right now, you have two of the best running teams in the league coming into Sunday's game. So what I figure the Texans need to do is beat the Chiefs at their own game. Watching the Chiefs play against the Washington Redskins the other night, I noticed that a couple of drives, they weren't necessarily just going for like full, shootout mode. And in particular, I'm talking about drives where they seem to be either tied with them or whatever, or the score was like just really close, where you would expect, a quarterback to just take the ball back and just throw it downfield quite a few times. No, a lot of the plays I saw were running plays, and so with their rookie sensation on Kansas City, Akeem Hunt, excuse me, Kareem Hunt. My bad. Yeah, so with their rookie sensation, Kareem Hunt, who leads the league in rushing right now, he's able to wear down defenses. He can get a couple runs inside. I think what his strength is coming from running outside and running on the edge on sweeps and all the other stuff. So definitely one of the key things that the Texans are going to have to do is just kind of watch that edge. They've done like plenty of pursuit drills as far as like just chasing that running back from sideline to sideline, because I can definitely see them going with that strategy to try to wear our defense down. The good thing about our defense is the last three games we've held each of our opponents under 100 yards rushing. So, that includes Cincinnati's backfield of Mixon and Bernard. Hell, even as recently as last Sunday's game against the Titans with Henry and Derrick Henry and DeMarcus Murray or DeMarco Murray or whatever. With those two guys. So yeah, definitely. I really have faith that this defense is going to meet the challenge of trying to slow down Kareem Hunt, as great as he may be. And so it's definitely going to be important that they attack that edge. Also, it's important that they contain Alex Smith. Watching that game on Monday as well, he was definitely getting knocked around. There was, not sure if it was 5 sacks, but I know it was at least 2 or 3 that they got to him on. So, yeah, definitely. Alex Smith, he still has a little bit of mobility in him, So don't let that age fool you. Make sure that you have this dude trapped where he's not making any mobile plays or extending any plays. Just make sure you can contain him as much as possible and contain him enough where you can get a sack on him or just force him to throw the ball out of bounds or anything like that. Um, Last thing that the defense needs to do is watch out for Kelsey. Travis Kelsey is a beast. Like, needless to say, right? Very athletic dude. There were some plays where they had him, I believe, taking a wildcat play, or yeah, lining up in a wildcat formation and just running the ball in. So definitely watch out for little, trick plays like that with Kelsey, and watch out for just trick plays like that overall, because they have a lot of, they got a lot of speed guys on there, especially Tyreek Hill. I haven't seen the injury report, but I didn't really see a lot of him on Monday, and so I don't know. I didn't really flip out, flip from the station that much, but yeah, it didn't seem to be like a big part of the game plan. So I would definitely say watch out for the little trick plays, little wildcat formations that they bring about, where they put some of those speed guys in the backfield or at the quarterback position. Um, as far as offense goes, like I said, just beat them at their own run game, and let's try to take a couple shots downfield as well. First play of the game, Redskins broke it open with a touchdown, with Terrell Pryor just burning Marcus Peters. So I definitely think with the run game, we can develop some play action out of that, just to kind of freeze the defense and keep their eyes in the backfield and not so much focused on what the wide receivers are doing behind them. And so I think that'll definitely help out as far as getting some points on the board against a tough defense like this. So that's all I have for today, or this week rather. So that being said, see you guys Sunday. Go Texans.